Sports Talk. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's me, your boy, Ryan Flowers, a.k.a. Clutch Sports Talk. Back in the house. It's Wednesday. I know I usually come live on Tuesdays, but I had a lot of things going on yesterday, so I decided, you know what? Let's just move it back one day, keep it copacetic. But we're back for another episode of NFL Matchups. It's week 6 around the National Football League, and things are heating up. On tonight's show, I'm going to be talking about the best of the best. Now we're a quarter way through the season. Now we've seen some teams are starting to rise to the top. The cream is rising. And then we got some teams that are basically, it's pretty much Cancun plans for them here in the future. So some teams are cooked. So we'll be talking about both the best of the best teams and some of these cooked teams. And of course, it wouldn't be NFL matchups if we did not break down each and every matchup for this week here in the National Football League. So, hey, you guys find yourself in the right spot if you want everything NFL. I'm going to give you guys all that I got tonight. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. This is NFL Matchups with me, Ryan Flowers. Let's go.
We're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party. I like this kind of party, baby.
Hey, good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, where you guys are watching from. I'm your boy, Ryan Flowers, a.k.a. Clutch Sports Talk, and welcome to another episode of NFL Matchups. Like I said at the top of the show, man, we got lots to cover. We're talking about the best teams in the NFL, at least in my opinion, and we're going to talk about some teams that are pretty much cooked and got their vacation plans already packed and ready to go for Cancun at the end of the season. But before we get into the show, make sure if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, you see my social media down there below, and make sure you check out the Grid Network as well. We got a bunch of great guys that are doing some content over there, so make sure you check out the YouTube there as well. But man, hey, it's football season, full swing, man. Week 6, here we are, NFL matchups. Man, let me just tell you something. I got to be honest with you guys. It's been tough this week, man. I've been really busy juggling a lot of things. I just been really tired and just like trying to get ideas for the show, producing the show. But I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts that I listen to frequently. Every week, it's a dear friend of mine, Sandy York, and the Power of Connection. And she had a guest on the show last week where they were talking about like the fruit of the tree. And basically, I'm the tree, or the commentator is the tree. And we don't do this stuff because we want to do it, just because we want the limelight. A lot of content creators, they do it for their viewers, whether it's 1, 2, 3, a million, whatever the case may be. And as I was really struggling this week, I was just really tired. I listened to that episode and I was like, the fruit on that tree is not meant for me, right? It's for the viewers. It's for the 3 that are watching right now. It's for the person that commented just now recently. Whatever you get out of it, it's a success for me. And so that really helped me propel myself to get this episode on the air today, just because I've just been really busy. And those who know me personally know that I do a lot between work, as a senior leader in a company that I work for. Both of my kids, we travel, we do a lot for athletics and soccer and things of that nature. So I'm ripping and running a lot, and it takes a lot of effort to produce a show like this. So I appreciate everyone. And make sure you check out that podcast that I mentioned, The Power of Connection. It's a very insightful show. It's not sports related. So I do listen to other podcasts that are not sports related. So if you want to get some food for your soul, please check out that podcast, The Power of Connection. So you should check that out. We got some comments already here going. We got Martin. He says, should I trade Igbuka and Saquon for Taylor and Adams? It's a little fantasy football question. You know what? No, I wouldn't. I would keep that kid, Emeka Egbuka. He is lightning in a bottle. He is lightning in a bottle. So, and Saquon really has not done a lot. And I think Devontae Adams, I'm not saying he's washed, but he isn't anyone that I would really pinpoint in regards to fantasy. I'm not playing this year, but I do appreciate the question there for sure. Absolutely. So, okay. Let's talk a little bit about the best of the best here in the National Football League. In no particular order, right? Or maybe we'll see. We'll start with the Detroit Lions. Now, they had a really bad loss on the road to Green Bay to open up the season, but since then, they've been really putting the belt to ass on teams that they've played. The BTA, right? That's what the kids are saying, BTA, belt to ass. If you look at any power rankings, anywhere online, on TV, whatever the case may be, they're consistently probably ranked the number one team in the National Football League currently. They have an explosive offense. Defense is still getting after it. Jared Goff is playing pretty solid football. My only thing is, can their defense hold up when it matters once we get into the playoffs or late in the season? Excuse me. That's my only thing. Then the Buffalo Bills, that would be another team that would come to mind. You have an elite talent like Josh Allen, who's literally putting the team on his back. Every game you're watching it, you're like, how is this team good? Right. And they're okay. They're pretty coached well, or they're coached well, I guess. But it's Josh Allen. It's Josh Allen or bust. I wouldn't say they're balanced. Well, I guess they are balanced because they don't have a true number one wide receiver. They spread the ball around to guys like Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid. James Cook has really been a really good back for them the last couple seasons. But really, it starts and stops with Josh Allen. He is the guy that makes them go. So my only question or concern or risk for them moving forward as one of the better teams in the National Football League is that, can they ride Josh Allen all the way? Is it possible for that? Is it possible? The AFC is wide open this year. I mean, we saw what happened to the Chiefs last night. The Ravens are a shambles right now. They're 1-4. Who else is out there in the AFC? Really, it's the Bills. Do we trust the Steelers? Patriots. I mean, I know the Bills just lost to them, so there's a lot of questions, but still one of the top teams right now. Another AFC team who a lot of people are starting to get on their bandwagon is the Indianapolis Colts. I have been a fan of theirs the last couple of years. I took a risk on the Anthony Richardson pickup, right? The draft. I thought Shane Steichen can come in and do something kind of similar to what he did for Jalen Hurts when he was in Philadelphia. Didn't pan out. They got Daniel Jones, and now they're emerging as one of the top teams in the AFC. I believe they're 4-1 right now with some pretty solid wins there. And Daniel Jones is playing really good football. Now they're riding this momentum right now, and I think part of their schedule too has helped them out. But can they sustain this the rest of the way to be not a contender, not a pretender? To me, they're like on that borderline. They're not pretenders, but they're not actually quite contenders quite yet. I want to see a little bit more from them. I want to see if Daniel Jones can still continue to play at the level he's playing at consistently, right now. So that's another team. Another AFC team is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Huge statement win against the Chiefs Monday night. And to me, they almost lost that game. Probably should have lost the game. Some mental mistakes there by the Kansas City Chiefs kind of kept the Jaguars around, obviously. And I mean, to be fair, they did come back, 14 down to take the lead. They lost it, then they took it back again. Some miscues, like I said, on Kansas City. Trevor Lawrence is playing pretty solid football. But again, in the end, for me, depth is going to be a concern for them moving forward, especially on the defensive side of things. And how will they continue to use Travis Hunter in the future, right? You have a player who's this unicorn or a unique type of player that can play both offense and defense. I don't know. Me personally, I would have to pick a side for him. He's going to have to play offense or defense. I don't know if he can do both and be elite at it or make it worth the draft picks that they gave up. And I think that's part of the reason why they're trying to play him on both sides, because you have to justify why you gave up so much collateral to get a guy to play both sides of the ball. But, they are sporting with a 4-1 record, a pretty solid win on the road, but not this week, but the week before in San Francisco against the 49ers. Although they're injury depleted, but still a strong team. But moving forward, they're kind of like the Colts. I need a little bit more from them for me to start saying, okay, they can overtake the Bills, because for all intents and purposes, the Bills are going to be the number one seed team unless something miraculous happens. The Chiefs start figuring it out, and I'm not going to put them down. They're not on this list for me tonight. But they're going to have a say in it at some point. And like I said before, the AFC is wide open for sure. Another team that comes to mind is the Philadelphia Eagles. I know they just lost to a really good Broncos defense. But they still find ways to win. And I'm not willing to just throw them aside just because of the inconsistencies that they've had recently. I mean, they can easily have lost 3 games already. That opening night against Dallas, if CeeDee Lamb catches one of those 2 balls down the stretch, and maybe sets up a touchdown or a go-ahead score for the Cowboys, that's a loss. The 2 field goal blocks that they had against the Rams, that should have been a loss. They almost coughed up a game in Tampa Bay, right? If it wasn't for some late game heroics by their defense, right? So they're not hitting on all cylinders. We saw this last year. They have a new play caller. All right, Vic Fangio is going to have that defense ready to roll, but it's the play calling, right? Can they figure out how to get Saquon Barkley going, right? Are they force feeding A.J. Brown just to keep him happy, right? Are they going to keep A.J. Brown? I think they will. I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles are in the business of getting rid of elite talent just for the sake of it. They're going to have to find a way to figure that out, and I think they kind of will find some mutual ground because they're just too talented to not be in the conversation. Simple as that. Now, as far as the risks or concerns for them, it's going to be continuity, right? Will this A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts saga continue? Is it going to be a thing? Can they simply find the power of connection? Shout out to Sandy there, and get things going to figure this out to go back to back, right? That's really what it boils down to. Nick Sirianni to me is I don't know he doesn't quite seem to me to be an X's and O's kind of guy. He might be, right? But he is more of a building block kind of guy. He's an environment guy. He's a leader of men kind of guy, right? So he's going to motivate the troops. They got the talent, so I think they'll flip around. Some other teams that didn't make my list is Pittsburgh Steelers, San Francisco 49ers, even the Denver Broncos. As far as the Steelers are concerned, let me know what you guys think in the comment section too. Am I missing any other teams? But in regards to the Steelers, scheduling is probably good for them. How is Aaron Rodgers going to be down the stretch in the season? He's 41 years old. Can he stay healthy? I want to see some more from them. San Francisco 49ers, I can't have them up there. They just got too many injuries. I think right now that win against the Rams was just pure, just unadulterated, just guts and grit. I mean, like to go into LA without your starting quarterback, your best pass rusher, a wide receiving core that's been depleted. Did George Kittle play? I don't even remember George Kittle. He might have played, but I know he's suffering from injuries. And they still got that win. Now the Rams kind of gave it to them, but still. But too many injuries for them to overcome. So I can't even consider them the best of the best. I think that was just a great performance by them. And then who did I say? The Broncos. Shout out to the Broncos. Great win. You were down 17-3 late in the third, fourth quarter. You come back and win that game. You score 18 unanswered points to beat the defending Super Bowl champs on the road. I want to see Bo Nix a little bit more consistent because the first half of that game, he was terrible. He looked like he didn't know how to play the position. And then second half, late into that game, he started to look like a really, really high level pro NFL quarterback. The throws that he was making, the completions, the mindset, it really changed. So those are my honorable mention type of teams. But let me know what you guys think. Is anybody else out there that I'm missing? Let me know. Let me know out there in the comment section. All right. Now we talk about the best of the best. Let's talk about some teams that are just flat out cooked. And they're probably talking to their travel agents right now, planning the vacation to Cancun for their families. And we'll start with New York, the New York Jets. Still winless, the only winless team in the National Football League. I just don't know what happened to them. Aaron Glenn was brought on. I'm not a big fan of defensive head coaches. I'm just not. I've been on record for saying that for years. If you go back and watch any of my other clips, any of my shows, whether it's NFL matchups, when I used to NFL Sunday morning, when I would do NFL primetime live, whatever. I used to do a night show on Sunday nights. I don't like defensive coaches, especially when you don't have a good quarterback. Justin Fields, folks, is what he is. He's an athlete playing quarterback. And it was evident this past Sunday that the Dallas Cowboys, who, mind you, have one of the worst defenses in all of the National Football League. And they got after him, which is crazy. They made that Dallas defense look like the doomsday defense from back in the 70s. Okay? With Hollywood Henderson and Bob Lilly and all these guys. It was crazy. I just don't know. I just don't know. Between the turnovers, the penalties, is Aaron Glenn on the hot seat? No, I don't think he should be, but he probably might be if this continues to go the way it's going and they finish, I don't know, maybe one win out of the year. I don't know. it might be time to move on to Tyrod Taylor and see what you can do to try to salvage the season. But going into 2025, this team, there were some high hopes, I guess. You let Aaron Rodgers go, you fly him in, you tell him that he's no good for this team, then he beats you week 1, and then now he's having success. So the Jets is just one of these teams that are just historically they just have bad ownership, period. And I don't think that they can overcome that with any type of coach, any type of player. They just don't have it. So they're cooked. They're flat out cooked. Baltimore Ravens, they're cooked. Injuries have played a big part for them being cooked. They just haven't been the same. Lamar Jackson suffering that hamstring against the Chiefs a couple weeks ago. He might give it a go this week, but hamstrings are not to be messed with. Because the style of play he runs, he's going to want to run around, and next he tweaks that thing again. He's done for the year. Defensively, they haven't been good at all, which is odd because historically they've been really good on defense. And Derrick Henry, what's happened with him? The fumbles, the way he ran off the field. Was it against the who was it when he fumbled again and they lost it? Was it the Lions game or something? I forgot what team it was. And he looked like a petulant child. He looks broken. And now you don't. And if Lamar Jackson doesn't come back to play, you got Cooper Rush back there. Cooper Rush, for all intents and purposes, is a solid backup. But come on, there's no threat with him back there. And they're going to hand the ball off to Derrick Henry. So guess what? They're just going to load the box up. And they're going to force Cooper Rush to beat you. And that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And they're not good enough on the outside to beat a lot of teams. I like Zay Jones, fast, little, unique type of wide receiver, but he's not one of the top 10 wide receivers now in the National Football League, right? They will go as far as Lamar Jackson will take them, and right now he's got a bad hammy. Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniels, he's done. I think this guy, it's like watching a guy on death row. He's literally stay of execution at this point. He gets up to the mic Sunday. He just seems so discombobulated. He looks like a guy that knows he's losing his job. He's lost the locker room. One of your best players is out for the year in Tyreek Hill. You got a quarterback that literally is one play away always from just being concussed the rest of his life. And they can't figure it out offensively, defensively as well. For such an explosive team the last couple of years, it's kind of like weird to see them not explosive. I get it. It's the National Football League. It's the National Football League. People will figure you out. And he has not been able to figure out or counter what the league is throwing at him, and you're getting what you're getting. Like, he probably is a really good coordinator, but to be a head coach in the National Football League, he probably isn't. You can tell. He doesn't strike me as someone, Mike McDaniels I'm talking about, as someone that's a leader of men. Probably a really nice guy. He seems like a tech guy. He needs to be like in the Silicon Valley. That's what I get from Mike McDaniels. I don't know. Let me know. But his tenure in Miami is going to be up soon. Whether they let him finish the year or they get rid of him, but it's definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if I got a message right now on my phone saying they fired the guy. Not looking for anyone to be fired, but the reality is they're 1-4 and they just haven't really lived up to the expectations. And then finally, Las Vegas Raiders. Oh my God. I live in Vegas, for those who don't know. And there was a lot of buzz on the radio, here in the streets. In Henderson, Las Vegas, for those who live in downtown Summerlin, a lot of buzz about the Raiders. And Pete Carroll's back. They got Ashton Genty, right? Max Crosby's going to stay. He's going to be a Raider. Yeah. Geno Smith sucks, man. 9 interceptions in 5 games. And some of these interceptions, I get it. Some of them are like tips, but some of them are like, dude, who the hell are you throwing the ball to? He looks like Geno Smith from the Jets, not Geno Smith from the Seahawks. And they put a lot of stock in him. They didn't draft I guess they did draft the kid in the draft, but it was like a lower pick for quarterback. And you still got Aiden O'Connell. Now, they did make the trade for Kenny Pickett. Do we think he's any better? Probably not. He sucks too. What do you do? The offensive line is terrible. I don't think Ashton Genty is a bust yet. I don't think it's not his fault, right? He can't run if guys are already on him as soon as he gets the ball. Like, that's not fair to him. The defense is still kind of Max Crosby, God bless him. I met him. I met him before at a gas station right down the street from my kid's school. Super guy. But if I'm him, I got to be like, I got to get out of here, man. I cannot be here. And I wouldn't say he's on his back nine, but he's like, if not in his prime, or he's getting ready to come out of his prime. He is still one of the best defensive players in the National Football League, and it's just being wasted. And I feel bad because I like Pete Carroll. I thought Pete Carroll was going to be good for this team, but they just, I don't know, man. Like that first win against the Patriots, who it looks like a good win now because the Patriots are rolling, but it's like how did they beat the Patriots? I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those week one anomalies, and they just been able. They haven't been able to figure it out. So I think they're done too. So Raider Nation, sorry, man. I'm not even throwing shade at you. And yes, I am a Cowboys fan, but like I'm just keeping it real. And could the Cowboys be on this list too? Yeah, absolutely. But they're battling at least. At least we got a quarterback. Dak is at least an MVP candidate. So those teams are cooked for sure. Let me know in the comments, man, what you guys think. Is there best of the best teams, or any other cooked teams that I'm missing? Let me know, because I know there's a plethora of them out there, but let me know. All right, moving on. Let's go. Week 6 matchup, starting with Thursday night football. Eagles, Giants, 7.5 favorites. The Philadelphia Eagles are road favorites. Over and under is 41.5. Keys to victory for the Eagles: get Saquon Barkley going and find AJ Brown early too. Whether it's quick slants, quick passes, get him going. Defense, force Jackson Dart into third and long conversions. Make him be and look like a rookie quarterback in the National Football League. You do that, you'll win the game. Giants is pretty simple. Put pressure on Jalen Hurts from the outside. Do not let this guy roll around and extend plays. That's what he's good for. He's a big, strong, physical quarterback. But if you can get him off the edge, whether it's blitz or just your front pressure, and you got some guys there, right? You drafted a couple of them. You should be able to do that. And try to attack this secondary for the Eagles. It's not that good. But the problem is you don't have a Malik Neighbors. That's the problem. You don't have anybody. Wan'Dale Robinson, he's all right, I guess. But at the end of the day, the Eagles should win this game. I picked them to cover. I don't think the Giants have enough in the tank. Although it's a divisional game, it's at home for them. I don't think they have enough in the tank, but I do like the Eagles here. We got the London game. Broncos versus Jets. Denver opened up at -7.5. Over under is 43.5. Broncos, feed that running game, get some play action going, and just basically disguise your coverages with Justin Fields. He is a first read quarterback, meaning he's going to look one guy, and if his guy is not there, he's taking off. That's it. So you don't need to be in coverage for too long, but if you disguise and mix up your coverages and make him confused on, okay, is the guy open or is he not open? He's taking off anyway. That's what you got to do if you want to win this game. Jets, lean on the running game, right? Whether it's using Breece Hall or even Justin Fields. I don't think they did that enough against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys have historically struggled against mobile quarterbacks, and they didn't even bother trying to run the guy, which is crazy to me. But use your running game. Use your legs and to extend, to make big plays down the field, because you're not going to get it in the passing game. And they're going to have to find a way to avoid the turnovers and win the turnover battles against the Broncos. But in the end, I think the Jets fall to 0-6. I like the Broncos in the money line here. We got Rams at Ravens. Rams are favorite at -7.5. The total is a 45.5. Rams, I mean, you're coming off a tough home loss to a division rival in the San Francisco 49ers. So what do you got to do? You got to find ways to isolate Puka Nacua against this terrible Baltimore Ravens defense. If you can find a way, because Puka Nacua is the guy there, not Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is just a name at this point. Puka Nacua is the guy. And if Cooper Rush is playing from a defensive perspective from the Rams, if Cooper Rush is the guy, you get after it. You use like Jared Verse, you get after it. Ravens, you have to run the football. Simple as that. Run the football, keep the game as close as possible, mess it up, muddle it up, whatever you got to do. Even if Lamar Jackson is playing, it's still going to be tough because he's got that hammy. And I think the Rams are just a better team at this point. I do like the Rams to actually cover this game. So I'm going to take the Rams -7.5. All right, my Cowboys on the road taking on the shortest quarterback in the National. I take that back. Kyler Murray's probably the shortest guy, but taking on one of the shorter quarterbacks in the National Football League, the Carolina Panthers. Dallas opened up at -3.5 road favorites. The total is 48.5. Keys to victory for the Cowboys. Listen, continue to ride. Pause. Javonte Williams, right? He had 100 plus yards yards last week against the Jets. Dak Prescott is playing tremendous football. He's finding guys left and right, but him and George Pickens are starting to establish something really, really nice. I think CeeDee Lamb is still going to be a no-go this week. And as far as defense is concerned, just get after it. The way you got after it against Justin Fields, do it again. They might be getting some guys back from injuries like a what's his name? Demarion Overshown, the kind of like a hybrid /safety, linebacker /safety kind of guy. They drafted him a couple years ago from Texas. I think he's back in the lineup. But if they can do that, that'll be fine. Carolina, short passes, neutralize the rush for the Dallas Cowboys if there is any rush, and you're going to have to score when you get in the red zone. You cannot settle for field goals, because the one thing about the Cowboys is that they can trade field goals with you. Why? Because they have one of the best, if not the best kicker in the National Football League. So with this whole new kickoff rule, if you get some type of penalty, if it doesn't land in that landing zone, they automatically get it to like the 35 or 40 yard line. You're already almost in kicking range for Brandon Aubrey, literally. So they're okay with trading field goals with you because they know they can get that back. Simple as that. So, but in the end, I like the Cowboys to not cover. I don't think they'll cover. This game is going to be a little closer. I think it's going to boil down to whoever has the ball last is going to win this game. And hopefully it's my Dak Prescott and Dallas Cowboys. So I'm going to take the Cowboys to win this one on the money line. All right, we got Cardinals and Colts. Indianapolis, 5.5 favorites at home against the Cardinals. Can I just say something really quick about what happened with, I believe, the coach for Arizona Cardinals? He was fined for what it looked like. He kind of like made some type of physical contact with the running back DeMarcado. After that, he just bumbled. He didn't score the touchdown. He let the ball go. And this is a trend. It happened in back-to-back weeks. And now the coach was fine. Can I just say this? And I might get canceled for this, but we are that soft now that a professional head coach cannot go up to another grown-ass man and get in his face and challenge him, right? At the end of the day, what if that loss affects their playoff stature? And in doing so, that affects Gannon's tenure as the coach of the Arizona Cardinals. That was a win. If they scored that touchdown, they put the Titans away. We're not even talking about it. But because our society is so freaking soft now, that's part of the reason why I can't even coach anymore. Because you can't say and do things. I'm not saying you got to berate the guy or belittle the guy, but he got in his face, and rightfully so. Like, dude, score the damn ball. Score the touchdown. Like, what are we doing? I digress. Keys to victory for the Cardinals, though. Kyler Murray's going to have to continue doing what he's doing. Extend plays. Make big plays down the field, right? That's what they got to do. Simple as that. From a Colts perspective, ride Jonathan Taylor. Don't put it all on Daniel Jones, and keep him out of harm's way, and you should be okay. In the end, I do like the Colts to cover. I think the Colts they're more on the contender side of things, like I mentioned earlier in the show, but I do like to cover the 5.5 there and beat Arizona at home. All right, we got Seattle going to Duval County, taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville opened up at -1.5 favorites. Over under is 44.5. Seattle, tough loss to Buccaneers last week. That was a hell of a game. Probably the best game of the week. Now they got to travel all the way down to Florida, from Washington to Florida, and take on a team that's coming off a pretty exhilarating win against Kansas City. That's probably why the line is so close. But Sam Darnold, keep balling, man. Seattle, run the football, and make plays in the secondary. As far as defense is concerned, you should be okay. Jacksonville, get after Sam Darnold. Get after him. Feed Etienne the ball, and find play action plays with Brian Thomas Jr. or Travis Hunter, and you should be okay. I like Seattle to win this game, though. I like Seattle. They weren't part of the best teams, but they're kind of almost right there. I do like them, but I'm gonna go with them at minus to cover at +1.5 on this one. All right, we got Packers and Bengals. Green Bay -14.5. I think the biggest spread this week. Over under is 43.5. Green Bay, man, just Well, we haven't seen them since the Dallas game. Get back to running the ball. Just get back to running the ball. Feed Josh Jacobs. You should be okay. I think they get Christian Watson. Is Christian Watson back? I think he was hurt. I think they get him back, but find him early. And you should be okay. Romeo Dobbs. Is he hurt? I don't know. Romeo Dobbs hurt. I always get these guys confused. They got so many different wide receivers in Green Bay, but they got a plethora of them. Just find them. But if you get that play action going, you should be okay against this Bengals team, who's not really that good. They just made the trade for Joe Flacco. Like, why? I don't even understand that. But as far as the Bengals keys to victory, listen, man, you're gonna have to make big plays. You got Jamar Chase, you got T. Higgins. Chase Brown's a pretty solid running back. Find a way. Like, what do you got to lose at this point? What do you have to lose? Take some shots down the field. But in the end, I think the Packers will get after it. If it's Joe Flacco or Jake Browning starting, that pass rush for the Green Bay Packers should be able to pressure him and minimize those deep threats down the field. So I like the Bengals. Now, a lot of people are going to say they're going to cover easily. I'm not going to say they are, because 14.5 is a lot, man. That's a lot in the NFL. And the Bengals are men, right? They're grown-ass men. They're getting paid to do a job too. So I don't think they'll cover. But I do like the Packers to win. If you're going to bet this one on the money line, I can see that. And maybe even the over. I might even take the over on this game as well, too. So, all right, 49ers and Buccaneers. This is going to be a doozy. 49ers, big win. Monday night. Was it Monday night or Thursday night? Was it Thursday? Yeah, I think it was Thursday. I think it was Thursday Night Football last week. That's the last time we saw them. Buccaneers, big win in Seattle. Baker Mayfield talking that shit to the fans out there in Seattle. I love how he's evolved. I love Baker Mayfield, man. Like he's a good quarterback. He's a really good quarterback. And shout out to Mac Jones. I know, he's looking like $1 million right now, but let's just relax. I think it's the system. I don't think it's anything more than that. I don't think it's like, oh my God, Mac Jones for president or for MVP. No, relax. Like, this is the same offense that made Brock Purdy look so good, right? It's the same offense that's making Mac Jones look really good. Okay, it's a system. So shout out to them. But for keys to victory for them, do what they did against the Rams, run the football, make big plays. And as far as the defense is concerned, you're going to have to find ways to keep Baker Mayfield off script. You got to force him out the pocket, right? Because they're talented. And I don't even know if Mike Evans is playing, but who needs him at this point? If Emeka Egbuka is playing the way he's playing, who cares about Mike Evans? And that's saying a lot because Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer. Tremendous player. But they don't need him right now. That's what the Niners are going to have to do. As far as the Tampa Bay keys for victory are going to be, quick reads, get Egbuka, whatever his damn name is, the ball fast and in a hurry. And as far as defense, pressure Mac Jones. He can't run. I can probably run faster than Mac Jones, and I'm 41 years old. So, but in the end, some people are saying the 49ers can go into Tampa Bay and upset them. I don't think so. I like the Buccaneers to keep rolling. And so therefore I'm going to go with the Bucs to win this game straight up. Even though it's a close spread, but I'm going to go with them straight up. All right, Lions at Chiefs. This is a Sunday Night Football tilt, right? If I'm not mistaken, Sunday Night Football. Detroit, they've been beating everybody like crazy. Now, you got Mahomes coming into town. They're coming off a loss. They are going to be at home. Arrowhead will give them life. So you're going to have to take this crowd out of the game early. You are going to get their best shot. This is a championship caliber team with a championship caliber coach and quarterback. They are not going to go quietly into the night. They are going to play their asses off. So if you're the Lions, you better go in there and you better put them in the wood shack really quickly. All right. That's keys to victory for them. Straight up. Just beat the hell out of them early and send them on their way. Right. Kansas City, limit the stupid mistakes, whether it's offsides or the kicker kicking it out of bounds, like that helps set up that go-ahead touchdown score. Chris Jones not playing to the whistle, and that go-ahead, touchdown that Trevor Lawrence ran in, to win that game. Like, minimize mistakes. This defense is still really good, and you saw the offense is getting a little bit more juice, right? With Xavier Worthy, the Thornton kid. At some point, they're gonna get Rice back. That's why I'm not gonna put them down to bed so early. They're still in it. This is going to be a really, really good game. I like the Chiefs at home. I'm not at home. If this game was in Detroit, I would take Detroit, But for whatever reason, the magic of Arrowhead never fails. I know the Lions had beat them a couple years ago that to open up the season, I believe, or did they beat them? I think they did beat them. I forgot. But it was a close game, if I'm not mistaken. But doesn't mean the Lions are not a good team. But teams like the Chiefs, their record may not reflect the heart that this team has. And but by all means, I am not a Kansas City Chief. What do you call it? Fanboy. I just call it like it is. So. But I do like the Chiefs in a classic shootout here to win this game. All right, Titans and Raiders. A very interesting game. Both teams suck. Titans really should have not won last week. Raiders, what can I say? Keys to victory for Tennessee, just run the football, man. Control the tempo, limit big plays on defense, and help out your young quarterback again. Catch the football. Las Vegas, run the damn ball, man. Stop putting Geno Smith back there to drop back 30 times a game. You see what happens. Stop doing it. I get it. Oh, the offensive line sucks. I don't know, man. Coach him up. Do something. But you can't let Geno Smith throw the ball and expect him not to have turnovers. He's got 9 of them. He leads the league. But in the end, I think the Raiders will win this game just because they're at home. That's the only reason why I'm picking them. They're not going to cover. This is going to be a field goal or less, but I like the Raiders to win this game. All right, we got Chargers at Dolphins. Like I said, Dolphins lame duck team, lame duck coach. Chargers protect Herbert. Lean on your defense here a little bit more, because they're a promising team. But that loss on Sunday, you're watching and you're like, damn, they're still the same team, man. Like 1 week they're like, oh my God, the Chargers are back, baby. AFC West. Then you run into a buzzsaw in the Commanders, who, I think is a solid team, but you're at home. You got to win that game. Now, they do have some offensive line struggles. I think Joe Alt is hurt. You already lost your other guy at the beginning of the year, the kid from Northwestern. I forgot his name. But so you're struggling there. But you got Justin Herbert. You got to figure out. You just lost another running back in Amari Hampton. So now you're down to your, third string running back, third and fourth string running back. That's going to be a problem. Dolphins, no Tyreek Hill. All you got is Jalen Waddle. And what's the tight end's name? Darren Waller, right? He's made a sighting. So this team isn't good. I think the Chargers, although the Chargers kind of I wouldn't say they got a bad scheduling situation because they were at home last week, but they got to go. They were in New York, went home, lost. Now they got to fly back to the East Coast, but southern part of the East Coast, and play a game. But the Dolphins are signing a good team. I like the Chargers to win this game at -4.5. I like them to cover. But a lot of people are saying this might be an upset spot, but I just don't see it. If anything, probably go with the over on this one at 45.5 there. So I like that. All right, Patriots and Saints. Saints got their first win of the year. Spencer Rattler finally, after 11 tries, gets a win against the Giants. Keys to victory for the New Orleans Saints. For the New England Patriots. Run the football. Don't fumble it, but run it. Make it easy for Drake May. He had some really good throws in that Sunday night performance against the Buffalo Bills. So that's a good sign for them. And on defense, disguise your coverages. Spencer Rattler is still a young quarterback. Mike Vrabel will be able to maybe create some mixed matches there for him and his defense there to maybe confuse Spencer Rattler. Saints, don't put too much on Spencer Rattler's plate. Short game it. Don't have him holding the ball very long. Try to find, his receivers rather quickly instead of taking deep shots all the time, and limit his sacks and try to create some turnovers from a defense's perspective and try to keep this game close. Now, New England is favored at -3.5. The over under is 46.5 here. But I like the Patriots to win this game. I don't like them to cover, but I do like them to win this game on the road. All right, we got 3 more games left. We got Browns at Steelers. But Pittsburgh is actually favored at home. 5.5. Over under is 38.5, which I could definitely take that. I would definitely take that. Cleveland, listen, rely on your running back. Judkins had a really good game. Dylan Gabriel still coming into fruition. There's a lot of haters on him right now. They think that there's still this big conspiracy that they don't want to start Shedeur Sanders because he's black or whatever the case may be. I don't know. Or they hate on him, whatever. Trust me, he's going to get his shot eventually. He is going to get his shot. And if he balls out, he balls out. If not, shut the hell up. Because I mean, listen. And then here's the thing about it. They're going into these press conferences with Kevin Stefanski, and they're like, well, so Shedeur's your number 2? Like, this guy's he's not gonna bow down to the press or anyone outside of the building. So just let the guy do his job. It is what it is. Dillon Gabriel's the starting quarterback for now. There's no conspiracy. It's not a race thing. Okay. They signed a black quarterback to one of the biggest deals in NFL history. I don't get it. I don't understand that. And some people may look at me and say, oh, well, you're some Uncle Tom, whatever. It is what it is. I mean, it's just a fact, right? Can Shedeur play? Maybe. He could. Well, but he's going to get a chance, trust me, because Dillon Gabriel is not lighting the world on fire either. So there's going to be a change here, and they're going to probably put him in at some point, okay? But there's no conspiracy, right? Let's let it play out. We still have a lot of season left. Joe Flacco's not in the mix. Deshaun Watson's not playing anytime soon, so we'll see. But as far as the keys to victory, again, rely on Judkins. Keep the game manageable for Dylan Brooks, and they might have a shot. Your defense is going to keep you in the game, that's for sure. Pittsburgh, run the football. Find a ways to run the football and set up those deep shots with DK Metcalf. This is going to be a very good defensive matchup. That's why if I'm betting this game, I'm probably going to take the over-under at 38.5 because I don't see this game being a shootout. So I like that as well. As far as winning the game, I think the Steelers will win the game. This is because they have a little bit more offense than Browns do. But I'm definitely going to take the over-under at 38.5 on this particular game. All right. 2 Monday Night Football games. The first one, Bears at Commanders. Washington -4.5. Total over-under is 50.5. Keys to victory for Chicago. Williams gonna have to scramble around a little bit, limit his turnovers, and short throws to Moore and Adunze. That'll get him going. Yeah, he's better when he's off script, right? But if you can find his rhythm quickly in these short, quick game kind of passes, that might get him comfortable into the game, and it might benefit him down the line. So I like that. Washington, Daniels, stay healthy, be efficient, and your defense will have to dominate the offensive line of Chicago Bears, which I can kind of see that. So, but in the end, I like the Commanders to win this game. I like them to cover on the road at -4.5. And finally, last but not least, the last Monday night game, Bills at Falcons. Buffalo is -4.5 on the road. This is the over-under is 50.5. I kind of like this one as an over too. Keys to victory for Buffalo: attack vertically. Find ways to spread the ball, get up and down the field. Josh Allen can do that for you from time. James Cook can do that too in the run game. And from a defensive perspective, keep Bijan Robinson contained as much as possible. If he gets going, it's going to be a problem. As far as the Atlanta Falcons, establish the run. Get Bijan Robinson going. Limit the possessions that you're going to give Josh Allen because he can be very, very damaging to you if you give him extra possessions. And then as far as the offense is concerned, you want to keep Michael Penix Jr. out of the third and longs as off. I mean, that's any quarterback, really. But a young guy, third and long is almost like a death sentence when you're playing veteran teams with veteran-laden defensive players that can get after it. But in the end, I do like the Bills to cover on the road, coming off of a game that they probably felt they should have won. But I think they'll go into Atlanta and win this game and cover at -4.5. So, all right, there you have it. There is your matchups for week 6, man. Appreciate you guys and everyone that was watching and enjoying the show tonight, man. Like I said before, it takes a lot to do this show, man. A lot of the times I just don't have the energy, but I find my way to get up off the mat and do what I do. Hope you guys take whatever you can. Make sure you like and subscribe, man, and share the content, right? If you like it, you genuinely like it, share it, please. It helps me. It helps the channel out. I've been at this for a while now. And if I'm being honest with you, like it's been on and off just because of the lifestyle that I have. And I want to be bigger than what I'm doing right now. Of course, who doesn't want to be bigger? And I know I have what it takes, but it starts with you guys' support. So if you like the content, please like, share and subscribe. But other than that, man, appreciate you guys for tuning in and rewatching if you're going to rewatch it on YouTube. But other than that, that's all I got. Oh, we got a comment. Yeah, get Taylor Adams. Who's Taylor Adams? Oh, Saquon for Taylor and Adams. Oh, that was from the comment earlier. Okay. But anyway, that's all I got. You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. I will be back hopefully next week, Tuesday, depending on my schedule. But so I'll be back next week for sure. So it was great. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the Thursday night matchups as well as Sunday and Monday night. So until next time, this is your boy Ryan Flowers, aka Clutch Sports Talk. This is NFL matchups. Never settle till the work is done. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.